Today I'm going to be reverse searing a 40-day dry aged Wagyu Picanha on a Weber Kettle. Hi, I'm Dave from Hector's Smokehouse, and today I'm going to be going through a video showing you how to reverse sear a 40-day dry aged picanha or rump cap on a Weber Kettle. So probably about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, I bought a Dry Ager DX1000, and the model of that is up at the top. If you want to have a look at it, there's a review to actually go through that. So what I've done is I've put some different cuts of meat into the Dry Ager and I'm just starting to go through some different videos looking at different dry aging. Going to look at things like 21 days dry aging, 30 days, 40 days, 60 days, and going to be trying a few different videos to see what the dry aging process does, and also to have a look at what I actually enjoy and what I don't enjoy. You know, is it better at 21 days or 30 days, or is it better at 45 or 60 days? So what I'm going to go through today is I'm going to go through a Wagyu Picanha or rump cap that I've had in the Dry Ager for 40 days. I'm going to trim off all of the pellicle so you can see the trimming process and see what's actually left. And then I'm going to reverse sear that to around about 135 degrees F, so it's going to be a medium rare steak that I'm going to be trying to cook today. And I'll go through that whole process and see what we think of it at 40 days. I've then got another dry aged picanha from the same batch in the Dry Ager at the moment, and that's going to be in there for another 20 days, so that's going to be 60 days. And I'm going to see what that tastes like at 60 days as well and see which one I prefer. So hopefully if you enjoy the video, please give it a big thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel. And that'd be absolutely brilliant if you could do that. And also hit that notification bell down in the bottom so that every time a new video comes up, you get notification through your email. Right, let's get on with it. So here's the picanha. This is 40-day dry aged. It's a Sher Wagyu, which is from Victoria in Australia. And you can see this has been in the Dry Ager, the DX1000, for 40 days. Just having a bit of a smell of it, and it's probably like a buttery type of smell. It's not really got to that point where it smells like something like blue cheese or anything. It still smells very sweet and buttery. I actually quite like the smell. I think it's a nice smell, but it's not offensive in any way. But it's got a really nice buttery type note, but it's not really blue cheesy or a hardcore smell or anything like that. It smells very nice. So what we're going to do now is go through and actually trim this down into steaks. So there's a couple of ways we can actually attack this picanha. So what we can do is, if we wanted to, we can try to trim all of the pellicle off first, and then we can get down to the meat and slice it up into steaks, because we're going to actually do this as steaks. Or what we can do, which is what I'm going to do in this case, is I'm going to slice the picanha in the first instance, and then I'm going to trim the outsides of the picanha as I go around it. So that's probably the way I'm going to actually try and tackle this. Apart from this first bit here, which is this front part, I'll just try and trim this off first and trim it down a little bit so I can actually get to this. And we'll have a look and see what it actually looks like as I get it off. But yeah, the pellicle is the first thing that needs to come off. There you go. But it's a very nice smell. I'm quite impressed with the way this actually smells at the moment. So that looks nice. Now this pellicle, you can actually freeze this and keep this. You can use it in things like burgers and those type of things. So I may end up trying to put some of that into some actual Wagyu burgers, and I'll just put it in as a part mix in a burger. So what we'll do is we'll just trim this down first into the steaks, and then we'll trim each one of them individually. As you can see with the picanha, there's not a great deal of meat on these, so it's going to be very small pieces of steak, but that's okay for what I'm trying to do. I knew that at the beginning, that I wasn't going to get a massive yield on these. Okay, so what we'll do now is start to trim off some of the fat off here, and the pellicle on the inside here, we'll trim that off as well. So what you can see here is this is one of the pieces of the picanha that's been trimmed down. And if you look into the video, you can see that it's not a lot of meat on here. They're quite small picanhas or rump caps, but it smells really, really nice. And you can see actually how soft and tender these are. So they've got lots of bend on these once you remove the pellicle. So there's lots of movement on that. So the next step is going to be to actually fire up the Weber Kettle, and we're going to cook one of these on the Weber Kettle to medium rare. So this is the picanha actually finished off and trimmed out, and you can see maybe not the best return on the size, but it was only a small one, so it's taken a little bit of doing to get it to take the pellicle off there. Probably could have done, I think this was just over 1.5 kilos, so maybe 1.5 kilos would be probably around about 3 pounds, somewhere around there. I think it might have even been 1 kilo, so it wasn't the biggest one in the world, but it's come off pretty good, and you can see these pieces look really nice and look very, very appetizing. I'm looking forward to cooking these up. What I've also got here is a bag of the pellicle trimmings, and the good thing with this rump cap or this picanha was that it had a lot of fat on the outside, a big fat cap, and this is all Wagyu, so this is all Sher Wagyu, so I'll be able to actually use this in other recipes for burgers and actually use this pellicle and grind it down and add it into a normal fresh burger mix, which should make really delicious dry aged burgers, so that won't go to waste. So what we'll do now is we'll take a couple of these out and we'll actually get them onto the grill and see what they taste like. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook the steak indirect and using a reverse sear. So we're starting off on the indirect side where there's no coals, and we're going to be cooking at 275 degrees F to start with, and then we're going to crank it up to finish it off. I'm using a meter probe, which gives you the temperature of the internal of the meat, and we're going to look towards taking it towards around about 127, 128 degrees F. And then once we've done that, we'll take it off the grill, crank the grill up, and then we'll put it back on and use the grill grates to finish it off on the Weber at a very high heat. And then the intention is that'll be up at 135 degrees F, which should be a perfect medium rare. So we've just finished the cook for the picanha. What we did was we put it on the Weber Kettle and cooked it indirectly, around about 275 degrees F on the indirect side, took it up to 125 internal temperature, took it off, rested it, lifted up the temperature on the Weber, opened up all the vents, and then we cranked the temperature up, put it over the on the grill grates over the direct side and finished it off for a minute on each side just to finish off the steak. So hopefully this has turned out pretty well, so we'll have a look at this and give it a taste now. Let's have a look at that. So probably a little bit on the too much near the medium. There's still some pink in there, but it's probably a little bit medium. For me, I'd prefer it a little bit rarer, but it's got lots and lots of moisture in there. So we'll give it a try and see what it tastes like. Oh wow. I've eaten picanha a lot. I just cooked it normally on the grill, either on a rotisserie or just normally as a steak. And I've always really enjoyed it. This is a very different taste. This is really nice. It's quite rich, quite umami. It's got a lot of savoury flavours and savoury notes. It tastes a lot different to what normal steak tastes like. It's absolutely delicious. And it's tender. And I don't know how to describe the taste. It's beautiful and very, very moist. So much moisture in there, it's unbelievable. So yeah, this is really different. As I say, I've got another picanha in the dry ager. I'm going to take that to 60 days and see what that tastes like. But this one's excellent. I really, really enjoy this. So definitely worth doing again. Very different flavour and very different texture to just a normal steak. But this is gorgeous. So yeah, absolutely, we'll be doing this again. And there's something about picanha. Picanha is just like the best steak you can get. It's my favourite steak. But that is, that is tremendous. Really good. So we'll wait till the next video and we'll see what the next video goes like when I do the 60-day one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, and you'll see the next video when I put one up. Look forward to seeing you again on the next one.